You asked about the three things I've learned from all this, and I think one of them is shut up and listen. It's like in any situation, in any marriage, whether there's cancer or not, it's like sometimes, guys, you just have to shut up and listen. And that you, I guess another important lesson is you can't be a 24/7 cheerleader, that trying to cheer somebody up or talk them out of their emotions isn't going to really work. That if somebody is feeling, if your wife is feeling sad or angry or upset, you can't just say, cheer up, honey, it's not so bad, your survival odds are 75%. That's not helpful. And the third thing I've learned is that laughter may not be the best medicine, but it's a great way to cope with all these awful side effects and indignities that happen when you go through treatment. One thing that you might do is just not be affected by things that would have worried you before, that something at work that might have, torn you up or made you feel very stressed, you might now say, you know what, it's just my job, and I'm leaving at the office and coming home and being with someone I love. And that's sort of I don't think it's not a good thing to be diagnosed with cancer to get to that point, but I think that's a good place to be, to sort of learn to relax and do things that give you joy a little bit more. I think that's why like a post-cancer vacation is a great way, if you have kids or not, just to get away with the whole family and be together as a family and not be in a situation where there's, reminders of cancer everywhere you go, and it can be very liberating. I think you just have to be more flexible and more mellow and really listen to your wife and understand where she is, and that you have to be willing to stop assuming that you know what's the right thing or the best thing to do, and really listen to your wife and understand, is she feeling very vulnerable and upset at this moment, or is she fine and we can move forward, and just kind of take your cues from her. You can't dismiss her concerns and you can't solve them. You have to kind of work with her to figure out ways to cope with all these new issues that come up after cancer. The other thing that's good for guys is to be a little bit selfish. Not in a bad way, but during treatment and after treatment, it's like you have to keep yourself together and be there for your family and for your kids and for your wife. And if you become a martyr and give up everything that you like doing, you're just going to burn out. And I think that that's a real danger, that as a caregiver you can just suffer from great fatigue as well. And it's important to make time for yourself when you can, to do things that give you some sense of energy and recharge. It's one of the things I really learned from Marcia, I think, because she was very good at expressing what she was feeling, and I tended to hold things inside sometimes. And if you let it out, then it's out and you can deal with it. And if you keep it bottled up inside, then it's just going to eat away at you. And it's just important to find someone to talk to, whether sometimes you can talk to your wife for sure, sometimes your wife might need her space to deal with cancer, and you might have to find a really good friend or a support group, or even you see a mental health worker, a therapist, or someone to just kind of help you sort out those emotions. But keeping them inside is just never going to help. Although you can keep them inside for a little while sometimes, and sometimes they just go away, and then it's like, oh, well, that wasn't a really big problem. That was just a sort of an anger of the moment that you do see. You sort of learn what's really real and critical, and sometimes you'll just be angry about something and it'll pass, and you go, okay, well, that's okay. It sort of went away on its own. Like, how do you cope with all these fears of the unknown? Because there are a lot of fears that linger after cancer treatment, and I know it was really hard for Marcia, again, because I'm a practice denier. I was able to maybe put some of these feelings down, and also it's her body and her life, and I worry about her and want her to be healthy and want us to live a long time together, but it's just different. I'm not the patient, and I'm not the one facing this disease within my own body. And she talked to one of her doctors about all these feelings she was having after treatment ended, and she was saying, will I have scans every week and visits all the time? And the doctor that she was seeing felt that, constant scans would reveal false positives and things that weren't really cancer, but would create all this worry. And he, believes that the series of every, couple of months seeing a different doctor was a good way to keep a handle on things without becoming obsessed by it. And he gave us some really good advice that I think helps you find the good things after treatment ends. He said, you can always worry about recurrences after cancer treatment, and if you've never had if you don't have a recurrence, you've wasted all that time worrying. even if you do have a recurrence, you still wasted all that time worrying when you could have been enjoying your life and enjoying each other. And we just try to live by those words. I think it was a very simple and profound thing that he said to us, that, don't let yourself become a prisoner of your fears. And if you can move past that, then you really do have a new normal that's kind of a nice place to be. The dad can be a good go-to person for the kids. I mean, not to have, daily briefings, but just every week or so, ask them how they're doing, ask them if they have any questions about mom, ask them if there's anything they want to talk about, and just kind of keep lines of communication open. And that can be very valuable to sort of understanding how the kids are feeling. Have they, are they back to their own normal, or do they still have worries inside? You just have to move forward. I mean, that's what we really learned with cancer too, that you can sit there and look back and worry like, oh, we should have done this, we should have done that. And I think that was one of the tough things for me too. I would just think, well, what if Marcia makes the wrong decision about treatment? What if she's having lumpectomies? What if she should have a mastectomy? What if she should have had this chemo cocktail instead of that chemo cocktail? And there are all these uncertainties that just eat away at you. And by learning to sort of trust your doctors and trust your wife's instincts, that helps you move forward, and I think also makes you feel a little bit less vulnerable.